Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Jill, you're ready.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the August meeting of the Commission on Aging Well of Fitchburg. And this will be a Zoom meeting today, and our first Zoom meeting, so bear with us if we have any difficulties. But things should go well. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And first of all is the approval of the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections?
Who even remembers, huh?
I've got it in front of me.
Right.
But yeah.
I didn't see any changes. Okay, if there are no additions or corrections, do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved by Don.
Okay. I can second then.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. A vote. I guess it's a voice vote, eh? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Minutes are approved. Public appearances for non-agenda items, and I assume that there's no public appearances.
There's one in the hall.
There's one in the hall?
There's no one in the hall.
Oh, there's no one
I was
in the
going to
hall.
say, oh my God. Even on our best day, we don't even get that. I was so excited.
Okay, well, our first action item is the resolution R-14620, the course affiliation agreement.
Yeah.
Jill?
All right. It's on here. I can go through that whole agreement if you hadn't had a moment to look at it. It's really a boilerplate agreement with the UW School of Public Health. And so I was approached by, let me look at the acronym, the South Central Wisconsin Area Health Education Center. And they are partnering with the School of Public Health. I guess the School of Public Health has a commitment, or their students have to do some sort of community engagement project. And so they connected with them, and then they reached out to us to do a virtual aging mastery program. And the aging mastery program is something that we actually piloted probably about 4 or 5 years ago. We've got a grant and we piloted this program, and it became evidence-based. And what it did is covers a lot of pillars of wellness. And the class at the senior center was more like 10 weeks, and you had different speakers and everybody came together, and they covered different topics. So since COVID, they've made a virtual aging mastery program, and they call it the Aging Mastery Toolkit. And it's run a little bit differently, whereas the participants will get a book. I can show you here. Let's see. So it's like a little playbook. They get some activity cards. They get kind of like a weekly check-in thing. And it's more run like a book club, where you are assigned readings within this book. And then you log on the days the class is held. And the medical students then facilitate a discussion about what you're reading. And so the topics that they cover, these are called dimensions of aging well. And it's gratitude and mindfulness, health and well-being, finances and future planning, connections and community, creativity and learning, and legacy and purpose. And so each week you cover something different, and then you discuss it. The in-person class was really well received, and I feel like this might be a nice segue to kind of connect with more of a target audience that we wanted to reach anyway, which is younger folks that just retired that probably wouldn't come to the senior center, but they might not be embarrassed to do this online, because they feel like, yeah, it's online. I can do this through the comfort of my home. I'm not a senior center participant. So it might attract a different audience. We do have 6 signed up already. We have place for 20. And so I'll be actually putting it out to all of Dane County, because you don't have to live, you can live anywhere and take it because it's online. So anyway, I'm kind of excited to be the first in Dane County to offer this. And so kind of circling back around, the agreement really is just an agreement that the city has to have with the School of Public Health to, cover all the legalities and everything, because we'll be using the students. So that's what that agreement is.
Did you say you already have 6 people signed up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I know, that was pretty
Yes.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping, even when we do go back to normal, that we continue to offer this virtually. And and I'll talk about that later. But yeah, so that's what the affiliation agreement is about.
Okay, a question. Is it possible when we go back to normal, is it possible to have in the Science room have a screen up with the whole thing and have 20 additional people from Fitchburg in that room participating?
I think that, if we had 20 in a room and then we had 20 at home doing virtually, the discussion becomes a little bit too difficult with that many people. That's why they sort of limit the number.
Okay.
But certainly we could have 10 at home and 10 here. If you don't have access to the internet, absolutely, this is something we could pull up at the center and people come in and do it via here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, it sounds like a great program.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Good.
Joe, this is Don.
Yeah.
You said that people can live anywhere. Does that pose any problems with our serving Fitchburg residents?
Not necessarily. We put it out in our newsletter first. And so, that was my goal, is to get the Fitchburg people. But, just like any of our programs done, people from Oregon come in here, Verona, from all over. So I would say I didn't feel concerned that, that 80 people were going to call in and they'd be from all over the state. I figured, maybe we'd get 10 to 15 from Fitchburg. So I'm happy to open it up again. And if it goes well, we will run it again, actually, the second semester of the students' school year.
Thank you.
And there's no fee either, which is really nice.
Yeah.
To get all that toolkit for free. And once you sign up, you'll get that toolkit in the mail, and then you'll get a Zoom link sent to you. So,
Great.
yeah.
Any other
Cost is
discussion?
My question.
Your question
sorry,
got
Dorothy?
answered, Dorothy?
Yep, it was cost.
Okay. All right.
Any other discussion? If not, do I hear a motion for approval of resolution R14620?
So moved.
Ruth?
And I can second.
Dorothy?
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Opposed? Okay, passed. Next
Alice?
item, we'll get to hear from Judith on
Oh, yeah.
the Senior Center Friends.
And is Alice here? Looks like her phone number, maybe.
I see a phone number, but I don't hear anybody on that.
I think that might be Alice.
And it just hung up.
So is Alice reporting for the seniors, for the
No,
Friends?
I just wanted to welcome her because I thought that she logged on, but that's okay. I didn't. Go ahead, Judith.
Okay, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, the Friends have been meeting regularly via Zoom for at least the last 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And some of our members have helped with the drive-by box lunches and the more recent drive-by treats. And each month we've been still paying for special needs and some months of patient advocacy. So we continue to have monthly payments, which are actually this year a little bit more per month than the average for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But our fundraising activities like pancake breakfast and our fall ice cream social and travel have all been canceled. So what I want you to do is mark on your calendar September 2nd. It's the first Wednesday in September. We're going to have a fundraising. It's called Dine Out at Benvenuto's Restaurant. It's either lunch or dinner from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. And we get 25% of the profits if you say that you're there to support Fitchburg Senior Center Friends. We suspect that most people will be doing curbside orders, so you have to phone in your order and make the statement that you want to support the Friends. And if you eat in, I assume that all you have to do is mention that you're there to support Fitchburg Senior Friends. So that's September 2nd, 11 to 9 p.m. And you can check Prime News, Fitchburg Star, Facebook, Nextdoor, and lots of emails are going out. And I assume, Jill, we could probably put a poster on the door so that if anybody needed the details in the last minute before they order, that would be could see it. But the advertising and marketing committee have worked on the brochure and get it out to various places. And if it's successful, we might do it some more this fall. And that's about it for senior center.
Is would you do it more this fall? Would that be with Benvenuto's or a different restaurant?
Well, we'll just have to see.
Okay. I did share that with the men's group on Tuesday. Mandy sent an email out to me and asked me to do that. So they're made aware.
We're in contact with all the groups that use the senior center and trying to make it, the leader to get something out to all members.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's great that you guys can function so well during the shutdown. And
this was easy for us to do because it was just three of us. We could meet on Zoom, and there's no contact. Everything else is done through telephones or brochure types of things. So.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Dorothy has a question.
Great.
The question that I had when I was seeing this is it's 25% of their profit. Do we have a sense of how much that might mean?
No, we don't. That's why we're going to wait and see, how it works out before we commit to doing, it more than once.
If they're keeping 75% of their profit plus all of their costs, I would think that that's the vast majority of the bill.
Right.
And I would hope that they're not just using this kind of as a marketing gimmick.
Well, I see it as kind of a win-win. It's supporting a business in Fitchburg, and it's doing good for us. So
I would hope that it works out well financially.
We're not putting anything at risk, or the Friends are not putting anything at risk, and there's a little effort on their part. Kind of all gravy.
Exactly.
And Judith, in the past, hasn't that this kind of a program been done with not only Benvenuto's, with other restaurants in town?
Well, that was a different thing. That was for senior citizens, and so what they did is we had tickets that you could take in and get 20. I forget what percentage off of your meal. So the customer in that case, got a benefit, whereas this is a benefit for the Friends group.
Okay, I get it. Okay, well, thank you. Any other questions for Judith? If not, we have next on the agenda a report from the Area Agency on Aging. Don?
There is nothing to report.
Have you guys met or Zoomed or anything at all now?
No, we've not.
You haven't, okay.
No.
Okay. Well, Jill, it's time for the director's report.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for logging on today. It's nice to see everybody and I don't know, feel like there's sort of something normal happening. There is a lot of normal going on. I submitted the budget. There was no significant changes at all from this year to next year at all. Something you might hear him talk about is we did add 50 more hours for our LTE exercise instructor so we can plug in a few more additional classes possibly next year. It doesn't really impact the budget because we always make sure that we recoup 20% of that cost, so it pays for itself. Otherwise, it was very status quo. We probably will see a drop in the Dane County contract. We were told to expect a 5% cut, and we do get money for case management and nutrition. So that process is going on right now. We're meeting at the end of this month. Finally, Don, AAA sent out some Zoom meetings so we can talk about this. But we don't know what to expect. They said expect 5%. Maybe that's what we'll get cut. Maybe we'll get lucky. So we'll see. I would say that we are here trying to do the best we can with virtual programs. I try to send out those updates. I was doing them more frequently in the beginning, and then nothing was changing. But to kind of recap those updates, the book club, Donna Mullally is doing an awesome job of doing the mystery book club and the regular book club. She's setting up Zooms. Our caregiver support group has been meeting now for a couple months. They actually are Zooming today. Jim's group, men's group, is Zooming. The ukulele group is Zooming, so they're meeting weekly, which is really fun to see. I know we post a lot of stuff on, Mandy posts on the Facebook page. Women's group potentially might be pulling in a speaker. So, initially we worked really hard to get a lot of the exercise links on the website. So people could still kind of log on at their leisure and do their programs. We are exploring kind of some live Zoom exercise opportunities. The good part of that is it's live, but you still have to log in from your computer. And if we are going to do that, we have to pay, we would pay an instructor. So then it would be a fee. So we're kind of weighing out how many people really are going to pay a fee to do a program on their laptop that they might be able to just log on to YouTube and do for free. So we see other sites doing it. MSCR is doing a lot where you just pay a flat fee and then you can log on to classes. I'm kind of just weighing out the pros and cons of that and trying to collect money if people aren't coming in. People might sign up and then we hire an instructor and then people don't pay and they decide they don't like it. So we're not sure if we're going to do that or not. We were able to get Ki-Young to come in and do a video for Tai Chi. We were able to get Boost Your Bones. Felicia came in, and then we had other videos with Diane and Becky for functional fitness. So we're kind of up in the air how we're going to move forward with that. We're trying to really focus on getting some more presenters online, where just kind of like this meeting, you just register, you sign up, and then a presenter speaks live on Zoom. So you can just log in for free and listen to a variety of topics. So Dave and I are meeting tomorrow about that. The Aging Mastery Program will be new, and that's kind of fun. We are having the Edgewood nursing students start back in September. That was up in the air until most recently, where they got the approval. For these students, this is part of their curriculum now, is to get these hours. And so we'll be working with probably, 7 or 8 students, and sort of doing the same thing we did last year with the patient advocacy. They might be meeting people at their doctor's appointments, but what we'd like to do is set up telemedicine. So they can meet with their doctors online. And so thanks to the Friends, they approved the purchase of 2 iPads as well as data connection. And so we will be working with the students and setting up accounts for these clients where they can now meet with their doctors online via having to go in. I think this is kind of a wave of the future anyway. Telemedicine, it's kind of nice, it's cost effective. In the winter, people don't want to go out. And if you just have a kind of a wellness check with your doctor, why not just meet online? So we're kind of looking forward to piloting this with the telemedicine and the nursing students. They're perfect to practice on because they're really flexible, and the professors are super flexible. So we'll be working with them starting next month. We are also taking on a UW student intern in the social work school. I tried to kind of push back a little because we had committed last year, and I was a little bit nervous because I don't feel like we can offer a real experience of what it is to be a community social worker. But on the other hand, you know, these are times that we have to get through, and the social workers are still working. And also, too, it would muck up this person's graduation if they don't get the hours. And there's absolutely no facilities really accepting interns, like hospitals and nursing homes and that kind of stuff. So, so we talked a lot about what that would look like for this intern, realizing it's not what it used to be when you come here. Luckily, they reduced the hours that the student has to get to finish each semester, so that helps. So we'll be taking this individual who happens to be a Fitchburg police officer. And that's why we were super excited. I mean, I'm still really excited. I think it's a partnership that has a lot of wins to it. His name is Eric Miller. So he will start with us on September 2nd. So we are working on his schedule and what that's going to look like. We'll be doing a lot of telemedicine with him. We're going to work on just him doing a lot of maybe live Zoom presentations on different topics that are connected to social work, whether it's benefits or, you know, doing your powers of attorney or fraud or all kind of stuff. So, you know, it's forcing us to think outside the box a little bit. He still will be able to have clients and help clients. Amy and Sarah, I don't feel like their jobs have changed a lot. They might not be seeing as many people face to face, but they are, they're still marching along, just like always, helping people get connected with services. As Judith mentioned, we are getting a few more calls for special needs with rent and food. And I know they're helping people with unemployment. So they're keeping busy. It's just a different look than what we're used to. So those 3 things are keeping us really busy. Amy's working on it's called Comprehension medication reviews. And we've done in the past, kind of the brown bag medication checks. And so we'll be doing that virtually. We work with the Pharmacy School Society of Wisconsin. They provide the pharmacist. We will connect some clients, and then they'll just kind of go through their medications virtually. So still doing that. Meal wise, we've doubled our home delivered meals. We usually were between 25, maybe some days 30. Now we're up to about 51 meals. And that's going just fine. It really has added a lot of work for Mandy, because with that many meals, we did have to expand our home delivered meal routes from 3 to 6. And so now she's dealing with 6 different drivers every single day. And that's a lot. That's a lot of scheduling. It's, you know, people still are taking days off, or they're, you know, get sick. And so hats off to Mandy. It's been a lot of work. It was really stressful in the beginning, and she has done such an amazing job of rolling with all of these changes. I certainly, if you saw her schedule, I feel like you would have to be an engineer to look at the way she has things on a calendar, and then it changes, and then she has to redo it. And the meal bags that we put together with labels, it's a process it's an amazing process. So But saying that, because we're dealing with so many routes and so many drivers, we were initially, as you might recall, the county said 3 days a week is what we will deliver, and you'll do 2 meals every day. And that was to reduce contact with folks and make this transition. So at that point, when we were doing 100 meals 3 days a week, that was really stressful in the kitchen. It was a lot for the drivers. So just this last month, the county said, okay, back to 5 days a week, 1 meal per day. So that's more manageable. But then that's when we had to kick in with more drivers. And so at this point in time, we're just doing the meals Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We're still actively recruiting more drivers to hopefully fill Wednesday. But, we talked about it, and it wasn't like a critical priority. We felt like the drive-bys on Wednesdays, we were hitting both needs. We were dealing with home delivered folks and the isolated folks 4 days a week. And then we could still offer some sort of programming on Wednesdays to, make contact with those that still drive, some of the regulars that we weren't seeing anymore. So I feel like it's worked out really well. We will continue to try to recruit drivers for Wednesday. I don't know when we will be adding that Wednesday for meal delivery at this point. I can tell September is going to look just like it looks in August. We won't be opening our doors to the public, although we are here. People call and make an appointment. We started offering foot care in July, and that was really wonderful to see people come in like normal. We used, for those of you that might go to in-person voting and you see a little toenail stuck on the plexiglass of the voting. So the voting things, you remember they built these voting plexiglass and you just slid your ballot under? Well, where you slide your ballot was a perfect spot for a foot. And so we propped these things up, and then we had the plexiglass and you slid your foot underneath, and it was perfect, and it worked perfectly. We did have to give it back for voting yesterday, but it was really perfect. So anyway, that's been really nice to see. And this week, we had a couple regulars come in for foot care that were also our lunch guys. So we just had them stay for lunch and put them at, separate at a table. And they were so happy to be here and chit chat with each other. So I know we need to get back to that. We're just not sure how to wrap our heads around getting people here safely. But foot care was a nice, I guess, practice run, if we can keep people safe and we really spread out the appointments. So we will continue to do that. And, I'm kind of tired of saying, well, maybe next month we'll open. I think, my gut tells me we just sort of plan for this way of life until the end of the year. And if miraculously Dane County numbers change, we can easily open up. But I don't want to keep giving false hopes. I want to just try to focus on how we can make our center as friendly and safe as possible, sort of doing what we're doing virtually. So that's kind of where we're at with programming. I ride a lot of waves of emotion, like we're not doing enough. We need to get people here. And then as soon as I roll out an idea, it just sounds insane. Because this is the population we're not supposed to be exposing. But on the other hand, the social isolation piece is really a serious thing to address. And, we're still putting "We Miss You" signs. We're trying to rotate those throughout the community. Mandy generally puts a little treat in home delivered meal bags, or we put cards. And again, Amy and Sarah are seeing people, semi-regularly. But at this point, that's the best we can do, I think. But I am open to ideas if anybody has them.
I was just wondering, you were talking about the guys that are normal lunch guys, and I know on Tuesday there's that one table of 7 guys.
Right.
I was wondering if it's would be workable to set up a lunch Zoom and they could just log into Zoom and just like they were at the table, they can just sit there and chit chat with each other and talk about what movies they've seen. And those guys are, and you won't have any downtime with a Zoom like that because they all talk all the time.
Well, I think the issue is a lot of them don't have computers. A lot of them don't have internet connection. We've talked about that too. We come up with these, and that's the thing, like the Zooms and the virtual meetings, that's really just hitting one target audience. Generally, our more frail and isolated folks don't have access. So we are working on, a couple of years ago, we got some laptops donated to us. And we are considering loaning those out, but that doesn't solve the issue of people not having access to the internet.
Right.
So we're exploring some of those opportunities. It could be that we use the student interns too to help with Zoom if we can loan out a laptop and then they go in. I was thinking more like FaceTiming their families, like with our iPads, because we have data connection. So we go to the really isolated people and maybe we can help connect with their families who haven't been able to see them, or I don't know. But the barrier of not having laptops or not knowing how to Zoom, or, that's a lot of one-on-one. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
That internet connection can be huge. One thing that the schools are doing, they've got portable hotspots
Mm-hmm.
that they're buying and passing around to students that don't have internet available otherwise. I presume you guys are looking at those.
I have not, but I know that they can come and sit at the parking lot in the library and get internet.
Yep. Mhm. They can sit in my driveway too if they know where I live.
Oh, do you want me to announce your address? Just
Speaking of
kidding.
addresses, though,
Ruth, I'm just kidding.
I posted in chat an address where people can test out their Zoom connection
That's a great, yeah.
and play with how well that works.
Yeah.
I'd also written a note when you were talking about Eric Miller to make sure that you're connecting with the Neighborhood Navigators.
Yep. One of them is our volunteer.
Okay.
Who's volunteered. Yeah. So, and also too, along those lines, not to get off of the subject, but the Neighborhood Navigator, Newbridge, which is sort of now the combination of all the Madison focal points. So East Madison, Monona, Warner Park, West Side Coalition, they all merged and now they're called Newbridge. So they applied for a Healthy Neighborhood Initiative grant, and that was to connect older Latino adults to more programming and offer more services. So we're working with Newbridge right now, and I've already reached out to the Neighborhood Navigator about that. Like, how can we increase our outreach to the Latino seniors? So it's nice to have them as a resource for that.
I'm not certain all the members know what Neighborhood Navigator means. You want to go one-on-one on that quick?
I don't know if I can do a one-on-one as well as you can. I know they hired two Spanish-speaking, they're women, but they go and do more outreach to the community to try to connect with them and I don't know, address the needs and then connect them with other services in Dane County. Does that sound right, Dorothy?
And that is positions that they're Fitchburg employees funded by the county.
Right. It fell under planning and zoning, right? They're the ones that are, they sort of supervise them. So
Yeah, they report to Wade.
Correct. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're working on that too. And again, when we talked, we were like, oh, we'll have more support groups here and grandparents raising grandchildren. And again, we're just back to how do we virtually reach out and provide more services. It's nice the social work intern speaks Spanish, so we're going to leverage that a little bit too. So that's kind of nice. Yeah. Let's see. We are, Judith mentioned September is National Senior Center Month. So we are working with an area restaurant to do maybe a bigger event that still is safe because it is something to celebrate. We're just not sure what that event's going to look like and when it's going to be, probably near the end of the month. The drive-bys have been great, and thanks to the friends for supporting those. It's really nice to be able to have the friends be so supportive for these kind of events that would be hard to funnel through the city. So thanks to the friends for that. But it's been really nice. I think people have really enjoyed coming out, and I think it's more fun for the staff too, because we're kind of tired of just seeing each other. And when the people come, you forget, how important that is. There are moments when you're at work and you're busy and people are bothering you, and you're like, oh, if I just had some time by myself. And now I'm like, oh, if I could just have some of the really most frustrating people back bothering me, I would be happy. So I have to, it's always watch what you wish for, because it's not what we're about. We want to see everybody face to face, and then those relationships. So it's really hard for staff, harder than I thought it would be. Just based on when the foot care people came in, and we're just like oohing and ahhing, just wanted to hug them, and just, you're like, oh, yeah. So the drive-bys has been a nice connection.
I think that it was really fun. I think it was the cafe when the staff all dressed up in goofy costumes. That was really a scream.
Yeah, that's Mandy. That's Mandy. She got a lot of costumes. So yeah, I'm always not that hip, and then when we do it, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It makes everything a lot more fun and festive. So
I had someone touch me this week.
you had someone touch you? How'd that feel?
Yes.
Good.
Well, she touched me because she had to draw blood.
Oh, good enough.
So when we celebrate that, that's like, whoa.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the physical connection between people is really
yeah.
been difficult, or lack of connection.
Yeah. So that's kind of, where we're at. Just trying to, every day seems to be the same but different, just keep planning and hoping that we're doing the best we can to meet the needs.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. And I wanted to mention, based on this agreement, there'll be another agreement just like this for the social work intern that just came out, but I bypassed the commission and did a direct referral because I don't have time to wait until next month for us to approve it, because I just got it late. So if you see it on the agenda, it's a similar agreement with the UW School of Social Work. I just didn't want to think I'm ignoring you guys, but I had to do a direct referral, so it's done before they start in September. So,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, I think
Anything
that's
else
really
for Jill?
it.
Anybody have any questions or anything for Jill?
No.
I have a question. All I've seen on my Zoomy thing is a picture of you or who's ever talking way down the corner, and the rest of the rest of my screen is filled with the agenda.
Here, let me turn it off.
Well, were we able to turn it off ourselves?
No, I think only I can turn off the agenda.
Did everybody else just have the agenda up and with a couple of pictures?
Well, there's adjustments up in the top right corner, probably, to see more than just the speaker.
I see the agenda.
I
and then
tried
see
to do the share content thing, and it said you can't do that because Jill's on.
Right.
I could see.
There was a thing on mine, Jill, on the lower left-hand corner. It said Jill's screen and had a blue circle around it.
Yeah.
Can you put the chart up again? And I'm going to punch that and see if I can get back to everybody.
Oh, I'm just going to share a different screen just because I closed that one. Let's just say it's this. That's kind of a dumb thing. Okay. Can you see that?
I see that. I'm going to punch this Jill's screen and see if it goes away.
Okay.
That will not.
That won't do it.
Look in the top right corner of your screen. It may say gallery view right now for you. if you click on that, it will change to everybody. Or at least
Chat,
some
meeting
of
settings,
everybody.
virtual, raise hand, disconnect audio.
Up in the top.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Okay,
I have mute, stop video, share content, participants, and more.
that's what I've got at the bottom of mine. So
Yeah,
we're talking apples and oranges.
Hey, Jim.
okay.
This
At
is-
any rate, when somebody spoke, I did get a tiny picture down in the right-hand corner. I was just wondering, I'm not an expert at the Zoom stuff, so.
Oh, me neither.
And
Okay, any announcements?
I've got two screens here, so I can really stretch it out and see everybody and everything easily. So
Oh,
I know I've got it good.
okay. Okay. So do we have any other announcements?
We need a next meeting announcement.
No. I was thinking, I was like, well, I'm not gonna put that because maybe we wouldn't have one, but we would have a meeting,
Should be September 10.
yep, September 10th.
At our regular time?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, probably the county, we'll see the county contract come through. I bet in October we'll have to approve that, but it won't be by September, so,
Okay.
yeah. So this worked okay for everybody, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Except
Right.
Alice.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
except
Yeah.
Alice.
Okay. I'll reach out to her and see what happened, but, so thank you all for giving it a try. I'm sure a lot of you have been using Zoom all along, so, I did, I should have done this earlier. I just felt like I don't have a lot to say. But I always do have way more to say.
Yeah.
Take note of that test site so you can send people there to play with Zoom connections.
Oh, that's nice. I'll link that too and send it via an email.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good idea. So yeah, if, feel free to contact me if anybody has ideas about programming or, thoughts, but, from what I take today, you guys are comfortable with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
With that in mind, do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I can second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody.